So, have you heard of Labor Day? I bet you have. What do you think of? A day off from school? The day that banks and some businesses are closed? Why do you think that we have this holiday at all? Well, Labor Day is to celebrate people in the workforce. But did you know that taking a day off was not invented by American workers? It was actually instituted by God at the very beginning. And on the seventh day, God finished God's work that God had done. And God rested on the seventh day from all of the work that God had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all of the work that God had done in creation. Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 through 3. Wow. Even God took a day off. Now, God was setting an example for us. God doesn't really need to rest, but God wanted to show us the importance of setting aside a special day to restore ourselves, a time for considering God and the work that God has done for us. The Sabbath, as this time is called, is a time for us to pause and recognize a special, holy, and peaceful period of time. And this Sabbath, this time of rest, was so important that God even reminded the Israelites of it in the Ten Commandments. Taking a Sabbath is a holy rule. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, or your servant or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11. Now, when you think of a Sabbath, what day of the week do you think of? Probably Sunday, right? Because in the United States, most churches hold their services on Sundays. But what if you have to work on Sunday? Luckily, the concept of Sabbath is what's important, not the actual day that it's honored on. It's taking that special, holy, and peaceful period of time in your life each week. And you know, if we think about the Bible, back in Jesus's time, those little details were the things that got people all riled up. Do you remember about how the priests were getting on Jesus because he was healing on the Sabbath? They were criticizing Jesus for not following all of the picky rules, but they missed the most important part: honoring a Sabbath by setting a time for God. When we take time to rest and to Sabbath, it helps us remember that life's not all about us and what we can do in our own power. It's all about God. And the beautiful thing here is that God promises to give us rest. And when we fix our hearts and our minds on God, God will rescue us from difficulty. Have you ever felt busy or anxious, thinking about things that you do that take up so much of your time? Are there any worries that you might have? Well, let's reflect on the fact that God promises to bring us help and peace. We don't need to worry about doing the most activities or going the most places or constantly staying on the go. God will honor it when we take time to put our minds back on God. In fact, this is something that should happen continuously. We can place ourselves back in God's care all the time, throughout the day and every day. God is trustworthy and mighty and promises to give us rest. In fact, my favorite Bible verse says just this: "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. What a wonderful promise for us to find peace and rest in. So, enjoy your Labor Day off, both students and adults, from school and work. And remember that our true rest is found in God, and we can depend on God for all things. We can't do it alone, and we don't have to. Remember to take the time to Sabbath, no matter what day of the week it is. Take time to find peace and rest in God.